Today we're going to talk about no more bye-bye financial FOMO. So manifesting wealth. And I wanted to kind of just jump on in there with that one because so here's how this all came about. It's not an uncommon question. This is what everybody wants to know. How do I manifest money? How do I manifest money? Well, it's all the same. I know that's not what you want to hear, but the fact is that the question that I saw was in a Facebook group that I belong to. And I was just like, and it was funny because it got, and I'm looking at it right now. And I was like, I kept saying to Darren, I was like, oh my God, it has 50 likes. It has 60 likes. Right now, as of today, I think this went out 2 weeks ago or a week ago that I answered this question, and it got 73 likes or hearts or whatever in agreement and 9 replies of agreement. So, and it was a different perspective than everybody else's stuff. So I wanted to kind of talk about it. So the literal question was, what are the best ways to manifest a large sum of money in a short amount of time? This was the question. And my answer literally, and I'll explain why I said all this, but it was kind of, I was really surprised at myself because I was super concise. Hey, good morning, Sharon. How are you? Um, and so I'll just read you my answer really quick off of here. And my answer was, it's not about the money. Shocker, spoiler alert, not about money. When you want money, it's not about money. Okay. It's about where you are focusing your energy. Remember, focus on where there is abundance already in your life, not on the absence of what is not there currently. You're not manifesting money. I mean, come on now. You're not Harry Potter. You are creating an energetic environment within yourself that attracts abundance, and you can't have abundance while also having an absence mindset. I'm going to say that last one again because it's important. Okay. Listen, you cannot have an abundance mindset while also having an absence mindset. Okay. Let's dig down on that one because Abraham, and it took me, and here's the funny thing. Like, I remember back when I love Abraham Hicks. If you don't watch Abraham Hicks or listen to Abraham Hicks, my favorite one that you should listen to, if you can get your hands on, because the audio recording is just better than the book. Rarely are usually TV or audio things better than the book, but since most of their stuff is spoken, I would go for those first. But it is Co-Creating at Its Best with Wayne Dyer. That is the best Abraham chat that I have seen in a long time. Like, there's tons of stuff on YouTube. You can get that one, highly recommend it. But get the video or the audio, maybe not the book so much. I have all of them because that's my favorite one. But yeah, my preference is the audio visual one. Anyway, so they would talk about, you can't be pulling on both ends of the stick. And what does that mean? And for a long time, I was like, stick? What does sticks got to do with manifesting? So that's when, and I finally put it all together. So, like, I think it was Immanuel Kant, philosopher, ancient times, who said, a thing cannot both be and not be at the same time. And that is very true. I mean, we like to talk a lot about how we dwell in gray areas throughout life because there is a lot of gray area. But, and this was, and this is something that I find there are certain times where you can hold two things, but you cannot be two things at the same time. So, that being said, one cannot hold a mindset of abundance while also holding a mindset of absence. So, in the question, how do you manifest a lot of money in a short amount of time? The question in itself is focused on lack, right? Because it's like, I don't got this money. How do I get it in a fast time? Right there, it's telling me, well, you need to reshape your focus, okay? Because here's the deal. If you are focusing on the fact that you don't have any money or you don't have enough money or there's something you want to buy and there's not enough in your mind, in your bank account to buy it, that's where you will always be. You will always be, if you're always declaring out loud, energetically, because once it gets out loud, it's kind of really loud in your energy, that you don't have enough money, you will not ever have enough money. You have to change your embodiment of how you feel about money. You have to change your mindset about how you feel about money. And this has to do with everything. So what I try to do is give you an understanding of the fact that it ain't about the money. Usually it's about a belief about the money. It's usually about a belief that you got in childhood. Money doesn't grow on trees. You got to work. You can't doing. I remember when my dad said, and I was like, Daddy, that's such garbage. Because I said to him, recently, last couple of years, I said, Daddy, you do all this fun stuff. You're an engineer. You put people in space, and you love. He's got you know crap up the wazoo as far as like tubes and radio things. And like he fixes all this old shit for people and people love him. Love him. Like he told us one story about how one guy just this grown man who is a boomer, they don't like crying. So, but he just bust up into tears and hugged my dad. My dad's an Aquarius. He is totally not a big hugger. So and then he was like, hugging. Okay. So, so I said to him, Dad, you have so much fun repairing the stuff. You should really start a business. And he was like, No, no, no. Work shouldn't be fun. And that totally blew my mind because I was like, work should totally be fun. Then it's not really working. So I know my money issues when I was trying to get over them came from my parents because there was this Protestant work ethic, a dollar, a hard day's work for a hard earned dollar or some crap like that. But I think we have to start saying, where did our beliefs come from? Where did they come from? And not from a judgy place, not from a place where I can put blame because then I can use that as an excuse. No, but rather just literally research and data. Where did they come from? Because once I know where it came from, I can then decide whether or not I want to hold it. I can then decide whether or not I want to clear it because I know where it came from. I'm not going to judge where it came from. I'm not going to judge my dad. I'm not going to judge my mom. I'm not going to judge any of my relatives for their viewpoint on money because they got it from somewhere too. I mean, all the way on back. What I need to do instead of judging or blaming or using that as an excuse why I'm not going to do something or why I'm not going to be able to do something or why I'm not earning money or why I'm not affording something. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look at it and say, yeah, I'm going to choose not to carry that forward. And I'm going to release that and I do some energy clearing and I let it go. And then whenever I feel that twinge come up, I have a conversation with myself. Where's that twinge coming from? Is it an old belief that's not aligned with where I want to go? So what can I do to move to where I want to go? And it's all within your control. And you choose to change your mindset. You choose to trust yourself to create that wealth for yourself. You choose to understand that when you step towards something, the universe hears you because why? You are the universe. The universe is not external to you, my darlings. It is not some force outside living on a cloud. It is not. You are if we're going to say stuff like you're an extension of source energy, you're an extension of universal energy, that means you are it. You are one with it. Therefore, the universe doesn't do anything against you, testing you, none of that stuff. When you feel like you're being tested, it's because you're waffling in your energy. Has nothing to do, the universe does not have this out to get you mentality or I'm going to test them to make sure they're worthy bullshit. No, when you get tested, it's because you're waffling. It's contrast. It's saying, do you really want this? Are you going to fight for it or not? And that's also why when you step towards something that you want, whether it's money, work, love, whatever, what have you, when you're doing it and you are wholeheartedly trusting within yourself your ability to move towards that thing, that's when the universe steps toward you and you see miraculous forward motion. Now, all that being said, it's all energy. It doesn't matter if it's money. It doesn't matter if it is a love interest. It doesn't matter if it's a new house. It doesn't matter if it's, a car, whatever 3D thing you want to attach to this energy. It's really about the lesson of learning to figure out where did those muggle beliefs come from? Am I willing to change my own mindset around them and embody, not here, because we say, well, I know better. Well, of course you do. You're on a soul path. Duh. You know lots of things. We all read the stinking books. Hello. It's whether or not you embody the belief. Okay. And that's kind of the stuff that we do in Soul Circle too. Celestial Soul Circle is really learning to shift and embody. But that's where you have to be. You got to start believing in here, not just up here, what you need to do. And then it's not what I need to do, it's what I do. I need to do, this is what I'm doing. Big difference. So understand that how do I manifest a lot of money in a short amount of time? Trust in yourself that it'll come. Trust in yourself that the universe will bring it. So, and you can have conversations with the universe as if, because it is a thing bigger than you, but you are an extension of it. So you have these conversations like, hey, I don't know how this is going to work, but you know what? That's not really my job. My job description is what I want and why I want it. Your job description is that where, when, and how. So I'm just going to I'm going to stay in my lane. I'm not going to like try and micromanage, and I'm going to just do what I'm supposed to be doing. And then hopefully, you'll do what you're supposed to do. They usually do, unless you're waffly. And then we'll move forward. But the money thing is this. It's not about lighting, affirmations on fire on a bay leaf. It's not about shoving crystals in your bra. It's not about writing 5 bazillion affirmations about money. I mean, those are tools that can be helpful to remind you to stay in certain mindsets, which I think are good, but they're not the vehicle that's going to do the magic with a K. The vehicle that does the magic with the K is you. You're the one that makes the choices to shift from a thought to a feeling, because those are two different things. And you have to basically transform the thought that you know is right to think into energetically feeling it within your being. That's how you manifest money in a pinch. That's how you manifest and attract the loved one of your life. That is how you attract whatever it is that you are wanting to attract, the perfect situation for you to transform into what you want and transform your experience into what you want. Is that you embody that which is the person who is in that situation and cannot help but attract it. That is why when I say you cannot both have an abundance mindset and an absence mindset at the same time. You either have one or the other. So if you're wondering where your money is, you're in an absence mindset. You are focusing on the absence of finances in your life. That means that you are drawing in and attracting. Energy flows where focus goes, and we attract that which we are. So if we are focused and our thoughts are all about, and our energy is all about how I don't have enough, I can't pay my bills, I can't do the things that I want, blah, 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 blah. That is not for you to say, oh, I'm so awful. I'm manifesting all the things I don't want. Because you're either manifesting stuff you do want or you don't want. It's not, I just manifest stuff I like. You're always manifesting. Let's remember that. Look at the other videos. I talk all about that. This time, we're talking about when you focus on lack energy, lack thought process, absence of that which you want is lack. Okay. Then you're drawing that to you. When you start focusing on that which is abundant in your life, this is why the whole gratitude thing works. People think, well, I don't know. How can I be thankful for stuff that I don't have yet? You don't have to. Spoiler alert, don't have to. You can just be thankful for that which is there already. It's the energy of the thing, not the thing. I'm going to say that again. It is the energy of the thing, not the thing. I love emojis now because I can do that and you get what I'm saying when I post it on Facebook. So what you need to do is look around in your life and be like, okay, let's start somewhere. And I kind of, in the newsletter this week, I kind of gave some tips about that. So I'm just going to kind of refer to those, but tuning into the good stuff. This is where we, kind of talk about focusing on the abundance and not the absence. So one of the things you could do is make a list of all the great things that you have going on. What are you grateful for currently? It might not have anything to do with money. It might be, I'm a great cook. I'm so glad I can cook at home because I can do all the things. It might be I grow my own veggies because I love to garden in the summertime. It might be I'm a really great musician or a great artist. I'm really grateful that I can, I'm super excited. Like all the things that you have in abundance, whether it be skill sets, objects, people, whatever it is that makes you look at it. It might be your fur baby. What gives you that jazzy high vibe that you love? Okay. And maybe let your imagination run wild. Just imagine living. This is the visualization, or what I like to call is visioneering. It's where you engineer your vision. Think about what it is you want, right? And then focus on that. And don't let the how creep in. Don't let the I don't have that yet creep in. Your job is to stay focused on that vision. Just sit quietly and draw yourself a mental picture of who you are, what's going on when you have that which you want. In this case, the finances that you don't got to worry about, financial freedom, say. Align with abundance. So you're attracting, and again, this goes back to, you made your list of, focusing on the good stuff. And with that list, kind of align with that. Like, remember how it felt when you received that abundant thing in your life. And remember and stand in that feeling right here. Okay. So you made your list here. Here are all the things, Egbert, blah, 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 blah. And then and then I'm into the heart center. What did it feel like when I got them? That's alignment. And staying in that feeling, and you'll know. And again, if you meditate a lot, you can be in awareness a lot more easily, so you can know when you're falling in and out of alignment. The easiest way is, if I don't feel good, I'm not in alignment. So just kind of stay in that space of remembering where all that stuff that feels good, and stay in that feel good. Like when you're eating chocolate ice cream with whipped cream on it. That tastes so good. That makes me happy. I'm just going to sit there. Am I eating it right now? No. Here's the funny thing about the brain. This is brain science, okay? This isn't even woo-woo crap, but it does help with the whole alignment thing. So brain-wise, your brain doesn't doesn't function in tenses. It always is in the present moment. Your thought process, the reason you get jacked up or super happy when you think of a past thought, is because you're remembering something, you're pulling something out of the file, and your brain acts like you're experiencing it again. That's why if you have, you think about something in your head, you might just bust out laughing. Darren does this all the time. He thinks about something funny that he remembered from like a conversation earlier in the day, and he starts laughing. And I have to look at him like, why are you laughing like a crazy person? And he tells me his story that he's like, oh, and it just makes me happy. So he giggles, right? And then there's sometimes when people remember traumatic experiences or things that didn't feel so good, and it's almost like their heart rate goes up. They start feeling themselves kind of step into that fight or flight area. And really, it's because your brain lives in the present moment. So if you intentionally and consciously can choose to maybe think about, when you make your list of good things, focus on one at a time, remembering what it was like to receive those good things. And then your brain puts you energetically in that moment, and thusly alignment. See? So when your meat suit and your spiritual suit act together in the same way, you can get into alignment. And that is awesome. And then, kind of the last thing that I always like to talk about is inspired action. And taking inspired action could look like just doing the activities that I just said. Inspired action doesn't necessarily mean go out and do something, go out and spend money so that you act like you have money. No. Inspired action could be, I'm going to sit down and do my list, and then I'm going to visualize each one. I'm going to visualize, if I do a vision board, I'm going to visualize me receiving that thing. I'm going to visualize my past experiences with receiving and alignment and abundance, so that my energy starts slowly but surely shifting from what I don't have to what I do have. And I'm going to stay in what I do have, and I'm going to stay in that blessed mode, and I'm going to stay in that abundant mode, and that joyful mode, and that love high vibrational mode, because that's where your soul's energy is. Your everybody's soul purpose, because its source energy purpose is love, abundance, and joy. Your life purpose is how your 3D self manifests that into the world. And when you don't manifest that, you're out of alignment with your soul purpose. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. And so to manifest money quickly, get in alignment, visioneer your stuff. Remember that you are fully capable. You are a soul that is an extension of source energy, that is the infinite, omnipotent, omniscient creator of all things. And if you are an extension of that, that means you are a creator of all things. And that means once you start trusting in your spiritual ability and learning about how your meat suit can support that for you, that's when you start releasing this mindset hold on the absence of all the stuff that's in your life. And you start regenerating, receiving, and allowing yourself, consciously deciding to create a mindset of abundance, because you can't have both at the same time. You can't be saying, I have financial freedom, and be energetically worried about how you're going to pay your bills. And then you think you're going to like you write it 50 times, 55 times for 5 days straight while you're sitting in this other energy. It's not going to happen. So try something different. Try focusing on learning how to align your energy to your soul purpose, as I've laid out. And guess what? You might see a change. If you want to stay stuck where you are, that's okay. I'm not one of these people that's going to be like, But what I am saying is this: understand where you are, because that's the only place that you'll know that you can start from. And once you understand, oh crap, yeah, I'm sitting in the energy of absence of what I want, and it doesn't feel good. So, what's going to make me feel better? Not going out and buying a candy bar or a new car. What's going to make you feel better is thinking about the times that you felt abundant in the past. Thinking about what all the abundance coming your way feels like. Who do I need to be emotionally and energetically to attract that to me? Because I have to be that person that attracts it before it comes, which means I got to align with my soul purpose. I got to align and trust my meat suit, and my life purpose is going to generate that for me. I got to trust in myself to create the stuff that I want, because I am an abundant creature of the universe, and so are you. Okay? That's the talk for today. Let's see. Tori, you love when I say meat suit. I don't know what else to call it, and it always makes me think of that Lady Gaga thing where she was at, I think, the Grammys or something, and she showed up in a dress and made them steaks. And I was like, I don't even eat steak. And I was like, oh man, that probably does not smell good. So I would not want to be sitting next to her at the Grammys during that time. But anyways, but that's what it makes me think of. But yeah, I mean, because you have to think of yourself, if we are spiritual beings having a human experience, they got to work together. You can't live compartmentalized and expect things to happen. Yeah, that's what you thought too, right? You don't want to sit next to her. So if we're going to do this, we got to remember a couple of rules. One, you cannot sit in an absent mindset and expect abundance to come. You have to be in an abundance mindset, because a thing was Immanuel Kant, philosopher from way back in the day, long dead. Um, One of the things I will always remember from my reading of his stuff is, a thing cannot both be and not be at the same time. You cannot be two things at the same time. Sometimes you can hold two things at the same time, but you cannot be two things at exactly the same time. That means I cannot have an absence mindset and an abundant mindset at the same time and expect, like, I can't hold an absence mindset and expect abundance to come. That's not how it works. You have to have an abundance mindset to have abundance come. Because if you are, the law of attraction says like attracts like. So therefore, my mindset has to be abundant so that I can attract abundance. Okay. Then how do we do that? How, if you're kind of stuck in that absence mindset, how are we going to get there? So we're going to make a list of our good stuff. What does that mean? Think about all the big, small, medium-sized things in your life that you're grateful for, that you feel abundant when you hang on to. I got lots of crystals. I get crystals upon crystals. When I think about my crystals, I'm like, oh my God, I have so many and they're so pretty and they each have a personality. And I love them so much. That makes me happy. Okay. High vibrational abundance. Does it matter that I'm thinking about crystals versus money? No, because you are sitting in a space of abundance, right? So that's all that matters, because it's more about the energy. It's not about the thing. So create that space of mind that you are remembering all the stuff. Okay. And then maybe in addition to that, let your imagination run wild about the things you want. Don't think about the how, don't think about how much, la, 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 la. Just write it all down. And then you're going to do two activities. You're going to align with the abundance of both things. So the first thing is sitting in remembrance, because your brain only works in the present tense. So whenever you remember something, good, bad, or ugly, you physically have a response to it. Hello, meat suit blending with spiritual stuff. So because it creates energy. So sit in the abundance and remembering all of the fun things, the abundant things, the stuff that you're grateful for that has happened off of that list. And just kind of dwell there. Feel into those feelings so that you know what they feel like when they're there. And then you know when they're not there. Okay. And then also do the same thing with your wants list or your imagination run wild list. So it's more about focusing on what would it feel like when I receive that stuff, and who do I need to be inside energetically? Where do I need to vibrate in the scale of abundance to attract that stuff? Because law of attraction, like attracts like. I have to vibrate with the worthiness of that which I want for it to come in. That's where we need to get to. And then taking your inspired action. Actually doing the stuff that I just shared with you is inspired action. It also might be doing something that, that source energy sends you, that the universe sends you, okay, to do. Listen, follow through. That's all. I know it sounds a little bit easier than it really is, but understanding, and like I said, meditation is key to getting into your awareness so you can be in awareness and be in observer mode as you move through these emotions and vibrations, and you can choose to shift them. Without the awareness, you can't do that. That's why meditation is so important. Meditation is not about eliminating thoughts from your mind. It's about being aware. It's being aware and conscious of those thoughts more often. That's what that's about. Okay. So I hope this Buh-Bye financial FOMO video was helpful. Again, it's not about the money, y'all. It's about your energy. Manage your energy and your money stuff will come. I promise. If you want to join the circle, I would love to see you there. If you're looking for any of my other offerings, soulcoachstudio.com is where they're at. And that's it. Otherwise, I will see you next week is 4th of July, isn't it? So I'm going to actually take off. So you still get a newsletter, right? Yeah. So next Tuesday is 4th of July. I'm taking off, y'all. If you're watching in the future, don't worry about it. If you're watching right now and you like to join the live streams, I will not be here. So don't think you're missing me or something happened. I'm just going to sleep in and party. And then I'll be back again here on the 11th of July for a live stream. And I will see you then. But until then, I will see you in the vortex. I love y'all so very much. If you have questions, go ahead and post them below with hashtag replay, and I will come back and see them. Thank you so much for those of you who join me live. I love you. I love you. I love you. Have a great week. See y'all later. Bye.